Hi everyone. So as you can see, there's been a slight change to the scenery. I'm not filming in the house of... Oh, look, a squirrel. How cool is that? Um, I'm not filming in the room of my two daughters anymore, but I'm now, filming on the balcony, and in fact, it's not even the same house. We moved, and that's also why I couldn't make a video last week, because the move was scheduled for Saturday morning, but the moving company came half a day early, and so we weren't ready. It was complete chaos as we were scrambled to get things ready to load into the truck of the moving company. That's what happened. So last week I would have discussed the car setup requirements for Barcelona of a Formula One car, and we can summarize it pretty quickly. You can just start from the setup of Silverstone, remove a little bit of row stiffness, move the weight distribution backwards a little bit because there are more slow corners, and increase the rear wing slightly to compensate. So pretty straightforward. Um, um, Perhaps we can talk a little bit about the state of the automotive industry and and specifically vehicle dynamics, which is the area I'm most interested in. So at the moment, it's a pretty shit time for the automotive industry, to put it frankly, due to COVID. So COVID has caused... Oh, look, little squirrel running around. I get distracted easily. Sorry. So as I was saying, so COVID has forced many shutdowns of factories. Many people have been furloughed, so meaning they don't have work, but the company haven't fired them. Typically, the government steps in and provides some income while people are furloughed. So there's been a lot of that going on, and it's a time of big changes for the automotive industry, with many players coming in due to the fact that there's a shift towards electromobility, which means that the the 100+ years of experience in internal combustion engines, which all the traditional car companies have built up, that doesn't count for much anymore. Any company that finds motor battery, can basically start building a car, and that makes the barrier to entry a lot lower. So we have new players like Tesla and many other startups, which makes life difficult for the traditional car companies. Plus, with the shift towards autonomous driving, the software of your car will become a lot more important than the hardware. So there's a real shift coming to the automotive industry, and I think as someone working in vehicle dynamics, there were probably times where it was easier to find a job, but it could also be worse, because although electromobility and autonomous driving suck away a lot of the development budget of car companies, development budget as well as investment, they do also represent opportunities for vehicle dynamics. So where electromobility presents many new opportunities, such as torque vectoring and so on, and is also a driver for vehicle dynamics, due to the fact that you have cars can accelerate much faster than before. Autonomous driving is also a real driver for people working within vehicle dynamics, because the requirements for an autonomous vehicle will for sure be very different from that of a car that's driven by a driver. There will be a lot more focus on comfort compared to, say, the handling and driver satisfaction aspect. So with that said, although it's a difficult time, I'm really, really happy to see one of a fellow engineer, who recently graduated as an engineer, who in fact bought my courses. I was really happy to see that he managed to get a job within vehicle dynamics at Maserati and probably also Dallara. So really happy to see that. Makes me feel very optimistic for the state of my industry and field for the coming years. And finally, a topic which I find very interesting and quite fun to watch, on the sides, eating popcorn, looking, following all the drama, is that of the Racing Point Formula One team, and the protests that have gone against it. So they've done something quite smart. You would have thought more teams would have tried it, but they're the first team to really make a real success out of just, copy pasting the last year's Mercedes. And so following Renault's protest, FIA have now clarified that they want to clamp down and prevent any similar copying of competitors' cars in the future. But I really kind of doubt how they will do that. It will be very interesting to see, because it's not like F1 teams can just go and patent their design. There's big differences between the racing world and the regular automotive industry. So if you're a regular car company and you come up with a great idea, then you can patent it, assuming it's industrially applicable, it's new, and it's inventive. Meaning, and the definition for that is that's not obvious to someone skilled in the art. So someone who is an expert in the field shouldn't be obvious. So that's the inventive step part. But and there was a case similar to this. So there was the hydraulically interlinked front rear suspension used in Formula One, the famous FRIC, FRIC. So the idea isn't new. It is patented, and it is patented by a company called Kinetic, which supplies the hydraulically interlinked suspension used on McLaren's road cars. So you would think, well, that is patented, so how do Formula One teams just use it? Maybe it's slightly different, but anyway, even if they used exactly the patent as owned by the company Kinetic, there's nothing for the company to do, because it's not like you can just go out and buy a Mercedes Formula One racing car and say, well, we have suffered financial losses because of this. So whereas if another car company or whatever car company made use of this patent without paying any royalties, then it is possible to purchase such a vehicle, prove that in a court of law, and get compensation. So yeah, I don't expect any Formula One teams to be able to just protect their design using patents. So the way they're kind of protecting it is a little bit like Coca-Cola with the Coca-Cola formula, so trying to keep it a secret. And so that's why there was like Spygate, where a Ferrari engineer passed some secret documents to McLaren engineers, and then they got I believe McLaren got slapped by a huge $100 million fine for it. Okay, so the battery of my phone just went flat, but yeah, what I was saying, it should be quite difficult to police copying between the different teams, so it'll be interesting to see how they do it. Hope it was interesting, and until next time.